Hello there, Dick Benedict here. We're playing Vanquish on the PC, and this is my guide and walkthrough for God Hard difficulty. This is 1-3, and it is entitled Giant. So the first part over here, you're just going to be going down this stretch and dealing with maybe 4 of these red Georgies, or Gorgies, however the hell you say that. I always say it one way or another, but this is a chapter that understandably is difficult. I don't think it's as difficult as I formerly thought it was, but that's only because I've gone through the initiation of this game on God Hard difficulty. But what we're going to be dealing with now is a Romanov N. The strategy for this guy is, well, you always want to try to headshot this guy. It's very weak to the shotgun. Shotgun can stagger it, and one of the things that this Romanov does is that it goes into a berserk mode when its HP gets to a certain low threshold, and it's conditional though, because sometimes it doesn't do it. But what I wanted to do is be a little bit more aggressive on this first part, and go to the cover and use some cigarettes. The glowing ember of the cigarette will distract the enemies. The enemy's gaze will lock onto the cigarette, and as long as you stay in cover, the enemy will be distracted. So that's what I was trying to do over here. And as I mentioned in the last video, these enemies here replace the MOA walkers that you see on hard down, so that it gives you an introduction to this very sophisticated enemy called the Romanov N. What he's got is I think it's his right hand that has the cannon, and then the left hand has that claw on it. So what I'm trying to do over here is play cat and mouse with him a little bit. The shotgun is something that I didn't use when I first played this game, and it's not good for all scenarios, but for dealing with these guys, it's so instrumental, because it staggers them, causes them to flinch, and they're noticeably weak to it. So in the description for these videos, I've noted some general things about God Hard, things that I wanted to talk about, but they have to do with like key modifiers that I couldn't remember off the top of my head, so I just wrote them down in the description. But you've got a whole battlefield here full of different Gorgies. Georgies? You got the red ones, you've got the ones who toss all the grenades, you've got the sniper ones, and what I said about this not being difficult is so you're basically going to go through a trial by fire on God Hard difficulty, and this is the chapter that most people go through it on, because it's one of the earlier chapters that the director decided to make it a really hard one. Just, I don't know, maybe out of fun, maybe to toy with the enemy, to throw him off guard a little bit. But also, just remember that we're not going to be score rushing these chapters, and we're not going for the deaths. Okay, so basically this is a pretty good spot to stand, like on this side, because you've got that tank to hide behind, and you can use the cover trick to immune yourself from damage. But anyway, during my time of homelessness, I had a lot of time to reflect on some of the reasons why I was doing this channel in the first place. And if you've ever seen a show called Breaking Bad, there's a part of it at the end, and it doesn't really matter if you haven't seen it, but near the end of the show, like one of the final episodes in season 5, the character would often remark that he was selling methamphetamines, and he was always trying to say that he was in support of his family, and everybody got tired of hearing it, because they all knew all along that it wasn't for the family that he was doing it, it was for him that he was doing it. So at the end, he's about to say that what he did was for the family, but he finally admits near the end of the show that he did it for himself, that he loved it, that it made him feel alive. He was a cancer survivor. And I couldn't help but relate when I saw that. You also got some enemies dropping in here at that point when the spawn bubble appears, so just be careful and realize that you don't have any checkpoints quite yet. You're going to get one in a minute, believe me. Anytime you heal a downed ally, you'll get a weapon drop. But it just kind of reinforced into my thinking that this whole time I've been doing these channels, I have always wanted to help people. But I've been lying to myself over the years, because if I would say that these videos weren't being made to stroke my own ego, it would be a big lie. So I just want to admit that, guys. My ego is what this channel is. It's a big ego of mine, and it constantly is in need of being stroked, and each video does that job. And it's disproportionate, because I do like helping people. I like showing people how to do this and that and how to usher them to victory and things like that. I really do, but it's low. It's like 10% or 20%, and the rest, it's all ego. So what I've been trying to do is find a middle ground where I can be a little bit more humble about myself, how good I am at video games, because it's evident in so many of the videos that I've made, you know, that I think that I'm the best. Like, I don't say it, maybe I didn't even think it at the time, but I thought I was so good, just so good, and I'm not. I really am not. And I'm only decent at this game. I think I could say that I'm more than decent, but I am fully aware that I'm low on the skill ceiling. Like, there are so many better people than I am, and I just need to realize that, because this game, I went through a humbling process when I first played this game, because I gave up on the final bosses. Anyway, there's a checkpoint, and it's a needed checkpoint. So anytime you reset the checkpoint, they refill all of your ammo, and for this section, having the default weapons is perfect. I'm going to do an EMP slide over here to slide and then drop an EMP with the triangle button, or the Y button. And then what I'm going to do is hang back here and throw some nades, see if I can stun a whole collection of these Gorgies. And then, of course, we've got this guy a-coming, because if you fuck with this guy, he's going to start coming towards you. And when he's in this anger mode, he doesn't have to reload. Normally, he has to reload after each set of 3 rockets that he throws, but he doesn't have to reload when he's in angry mode, that berserk mode. And we are going to get a checkpoint in a minute, so. And also the cigarettes, you can only use 3 of those per stage, and you don't find any more, you don't get any more. 3 is all you get, so unless you restart the entire mission, you don't get any more. So I think this is the last guy, and then we're going to get another checkpoint up here, and then we're going to be dealing with the KNRV-0 robot. So first of all, we have to deal with the enemy reinforcements. There's 2 ships dropping down here, and I decided to stand about in the middle of them. And you might wonder and say to yourself, hey Dick, there's a couple of turrets back there. And yes, there are. In fact, there are exactly 2 turrets up there, but they have a finite amount of ammunition, and I want to save that munition for the Argus robot when he has to be dealt with in the next phase. So we've killed everybody. Now we're going to slide back up here. Have we killed everybody? I think I'm just trying to see who's left, basically. Because dealing with the robot it really isn't that bad. Now, if you've never played God Hard, you're going to think this is just ridiculously hard and nearly impossible. Like, you're going to be pulling if you have hair, you're going to be pulling it out. Here's a crossfade, guys, and this is the last checkpoint. So this is the first of the 2 Argus robot health bars that you have to get out of the way. So what I do is I don't use the turret on this phase because, yet again, I want to preserve the turret ammunition for when I have to deal with the actual core. So this guy will basically fire these rockets at you, and it's your job to just deal with the first core here and take the health bar off. And these should be indestructible for the most part, these pieces of cover. I think when he starts throwing his drill pieces, then they do get destroyed. But what I do when I run out of ammunition, what you can do is you can reload cancel by switching to another weapon, and then when you go back to the previous weapon that you were running out of ammunition for, you'll have a full clip. So that's one way to reload cancel. And one of the things that you also need to be doing for invulnerability frames on this game is to do the boost dodge. So you all know that what the boost button is, it's left bumper. So when you're moving around, going from cover to cover, things like that, what you want to do is press left bumper plus the dodge button, and I think the dodge button is A. So it's left bumper plus A, and you can't just hold left bumper and keep pressing A. You have to let go of each button and then press it again. You'll hear like an oomph kind of sound. It's distinctly different from just moving around the map and pressing the A button. So here's the guy's next health bar. What I typically try to do is use the turret to destroy his arms and legs. He's also got a weakness in his eye, and if you use the sniper rifle and hit that, I believe you can deal tremendous damage to him. You might be able to drop him, in fact. So you don't get any checkpoints on this section, so just be mindful of that. What I generally like to do though is use the regular arms, the weapons I should say, and then when I drop him, then I go on the turret, because the turret is where you can deal the most damage to the core. Like for instance here, I'm using my regular weapons to hit his legs and his arms. I thought I dropped him there, but he was just leaking some kind of oil. And it's generally pretty fair. Like this chapter, I didn't come across anything that I thought that was too unfair. So, also, when you jump onto the turret and are shooting his core, he's got some sort of a defense mechanism where he casts out these laser type of things, and you need to jump off the turret when you see those coming near you. They will push you off if you don't get off. So, and they can put you in a critical status. So. Okay, here he's using his eye laser. I've got a decent amount of ammunition over here, and so the deal here is to drop him and access the main core. You need to take the health bars off any one of his arms or legs. So just try to focus on one, and the assault rifle is good for long range combat, but the heavy assault rifle will deal more damage. The boost assault rifle, or the boost machine gun, deals more damage than the heavy machine gun, but it has a smaller clip, so it's a trade-off there. Okay, and just mind that you don't overheat over here. Oh, okay. He's doing this QuickTime event, and believe it or not, good old Dick fucking Benedict failed on one of these QuickTime events. I rotated it in the wrong way, and I got damaged and dropped. But even as I say that, what does this do actually? Because let's look at his health bar. We completed the QuickTime events successfully. What exactly did that do? He didn't receive any damage. I guess we have access to him a little bit. Yeah, it does something good at least. But look at this, guys. Like one sliver of damage left. Always happens to me. Always happens to me. Yeah, so passing that little mini game there, it does at least subdue him for a few minutes. But it would be nice to see a little bit of damage coming off of his bar when you drop when he drops you out of his clutches. But are you in his clutches? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're doing. You're just kind of flying around him, aren't you? So all we need is a little bit of life off of him. But yeah, 1-3. It is a trial by fire. I kind of like trial by fires because they just force you to get good. They force you to get good or just stop playing, I guess. Okay. You see the overheating bar in the bottom right? That's also mirrored in the circular pie wedge thing that you get to see in the middle of the screen. So you get 2 ways to see it. So you guys take care of yourselves. I hope that wasn't too hard. I'm out.